focusing on infiltrators, specifically Mech Infiltrators. It's a very strong comp right now. We're here with Pete again.
Very contested.
Yeah, very contested. In some games, sometimes it's not, so you need to be flexible whether or not it's being contested or not. And let's see how it goes. So, what were you thinking? Like, what was your first item that you were going for?
Sword.
Sorry. Okay. So you are the tier. Looking for, oh, you got the sword. Okay. I got confused there for a second. Well, this is pretty straightforward. You know, you got the sword. You're getting pretty good. So, what's the first item you want to make?
What's the first item I want to make?
Yes.
Either Sojin or EA, right?
Infinity Edge, IE,
I.
and then you said Shojin.
Yeah.
Um, so Shojin's like the green item that you do sword and tier, right?
Yes.
So you don't want to make that because you don't use that item in this comp.
I put it on Kaiser. It's quite alright on her, but okay.
So you can pause it right here.
No need for it, but she can use it.
You can use it. The thing is, with remember you only have an X amount of items in the game, right? So before even going in, it's important to know what are ideal items for like on your carries on the units that are gonna get items, and then what are the ideal items on your units, right?
Yes.
I think we're gonna be talking about it as we go along. I think maybe something good would be put a picture of how the comp looks before we go into this, just for anybody watching the video. But if I were to ask you, okay, here we go, right? If I were to ask you, what's the most important item on Shaco?
EA and Bloodthirster.
No. Uh, Guardian Angel.
GA.
Guardian Angel.
Okay. But
Because he's very squishy and he
the
tends to
thing that
die.
the thing that the thing that you linked me said double EA and Bloodthirster, so just like this.
Yeah, the thing is, I think it depends on the comp. That is good, I think, if you're doing Dark Stars, right? And like I mentioned, like I like Bunny Muffins. I don't always agree 100% on everything that he says. I agree about 99.9%. Um, so we're just doing so remove all the items from here, right? We're gonna go like one by one. Because like most of my games, I don't even get the misfortune. Honestly, like that is an ideal situation, but it just
Yeah,
I'm playing it so aggro. Yeah, so we want misfortune because she synergizes with Isa because she gets the Valkyrie buff, right?
yes.
So we said ideal item on Chaco is gonna be GA, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what's the ideal item on? Okay, so
Mech.
actually, you have three mechs in the front, right? Who gets the items?
What? Who gets the items?
Yeah. So
Rumble.
do you know how the mech works in terms of items?
It just takes random items from each,
Okay, so the idea here is then
right?
because it's randomized, right? You only want to put a maximum of three items on the mech, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So
So one unit can take all three items. So I guess Rumble because we're going for 3-star Rumble, or Annie can take the items.
I say yes on the most like in most scenarios. I think I would make an exception if you're in the purple mist or purple haze galaxy, where you might be able to start the game with a fizz, and then on that
Yes.
situation, I would probably give it the fizz. But 9 times out of 10, I want to give it to Rumble or Annie. And then for that, what's the most important item?
QSS. Let me just.
Yeah, USS. And then what's the second most important item if we get the chance to put it on them?
Um, I think you said Zephyrs.
No, it's gonna
But
be
I'm not sure.
it's gonna be Sterax.
What?
Sterax, the item
What?
that you previously had. It's attack speed and
Oh,
armor.
Titans.
Yeah. Oh, it's not
Okay.
into golf. Yeah, that's high. And So let's say we have Kaisa, right? She's the other unit that we really want to itemize, right? Because she you get her
Mm-hmm.
early, she's gonna stabilize you in the mid game. What items does she want?
Uh, Demolition is charged, so we can get a demolitionist buff. It's one, and I guess
So
setup.
I'm
I don't
I'm
know.
not I'm not gonna disagree with that, right? Demolitionist spat is amazing on Kaisa. Why is it good on Kaisa?
Demolitionist
Yeah, but why
because
is it good?
spell stun target they hit for 1.5 seconds, and her spell goes to multiple units.
Okay, yeah, that's really the thing, right? It hits multiple units and it stuns everybody. So the
Yeah.
thing is, that's not the first thing I think we prioritize on Kaisa because the odds of us getting an demolitionist spat is honestly very unlikely. Like that's in a perfect world scenario, and I see that as a third item, right? So I want to focus on primary items. So what's the most important item on Kaisa?
Revenant? I don't know.
No, see, so using these guides,
You
I
just
feel
say
is
Revenant.
it's not necessarily the best way to win. Okay,
I know it's not the necessarily best way,
so don't look at
but
don't look at
okay.
the guide, right? Like from what you know from the items that we played, what item makes sense that would be strong on Kaisa? Morello.
Morelos.
Yeah, exactly. Because it hits a bunch of units at the same time. It does percentage damage. It does reduces healing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's a really good item on Kaisa. And then as soon as we get Kaisa with the item, what's the next item we're going to be looking to itemize her with?
Her with okay. Demolitionist, I guess.
Now remember,
If we get
Demolitionist is
it,
going to be our third item because it is very unlikely that you ever get Demolitionist in 9 out of 10 games. So we're looking for the most consistent
okay.
build that will get us first. Are you thinking Death Cap?
I know what I'm just hearing my parents talk outside. Um, I don't know what to put on there.
Okay, so before I tell you the item, right, I'm gonna tell you the rationale behind it, and I think you're gonna tell me the item, right? So Kaisa doesn't require a lot of mana, but we want her to go off as fast as possible and as often as possible. So if that's our game plan, what's the item that we're thinking about? Exactly. There we go. That's your core build. Those are the items that you want to prioritize over everything else. Now, if I ask you, out of all those uh, 5 items, what are the 2 items that you want to rush or like you want to make sure that you have at the end game, right? Like crucial for you to have.
GA and QSS.
Okay, that's what I believe. The meta might change. It's been very successful to me, so I've been prioritizing them over everything else. But yes, I think that's what you need to go for. So if you can't get a sword in the first carousel, go for a fist because you can always get if you get a second sword, then you can put the IE on Chaco. But that's not a core item. That's just a nice to have kind of thing. Does that make
Mm-hmm.
sense?
Okay.
And then anything else that we get, we'll eventually get funky with it. Demolitionist Spat would be fun. IE BT on Shaco would be fun. A second Sterax would be great on Rumble. If you have more mana items, you can put them on Lux so she can ult. If you get a red buff or another Morello, you can put it on Echo. Um, this comp early game has Kha'Zix instead of Echo, so I've won games that I just never hit Echo, and I just had a level 2 Kha'Zix over there just chilling. Um,
Mm-hmm.
So I think this was good. We got an overview of what we're going to be working with on the rest of the game. So I think I like doing this for like the next couple of games. So in this, I think I'm assuming you left it as is. My question is, why didn't you sell the Kha'Zix?
Why didn't I sell the Kha'Zix?
Mm-hmm.
Kha'Zix is pretty strong if I can get him to 2.
Yeah, but the thing is, we always want the items on the units that we're either gonna sell or that they're gonna keep it. And so we want Kha'Zix in our final comp. So we're if we
We
two
can
star
we
him, we
can
don't want to
always
sell him.
we can always sell a Kha'Zix later on once we get the unit that we need.
The thing is,
Like
if you sell
yes,
Kha'Zix
He can be an item holder. He's a level one. He's a one cost unit. We will find him another one eventually.
Thing is, if you send him into the pool now, you have higher percentages of getting the cosmetics without the items, which is what you want. And then you could buy Fiora that's on your hand right now, give her the sword because she's a damage dealing unit, and you would be able to pivot into cybernetics if other people are contesting the comp. Because the answer to playing a meta comp that gets heavily contested is staying as flexible as possible to pivot into another comp and top four that game in specific. Does that make sense? Because when someone's contesting you, you have one of two options. Well, one of three. You lose, like straight up, right? You pivot,
Yeah.
or you play more aggressive than the other guy and hope to high roll and hit more things at the other guy. It's always going to be a lot harder, but those are honestly the three options that I consider whenever I'm being contested.
Okay.
Okay, you can press play here. And I wonder what the name of those things are. Like, we keep calling them like the PVE rounds, Krugs, Raptors. Everybody's just used to like the first set. Okay, you picked up the Graves.
Yeah. It's a lot of people usually go for Graves. So I can deny that, and I might get a level 2 Graves next round. So that's
Okay.
quite strong.
Okay, so here we buy the tanks. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I oh
No,
you're just looking
you
at it.
have
It's
my option.
it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Just
And again, these rounds are generally pretty straightforward. This is what I like about the game, and I think Bunny Muffins is the one that either said it or had it in the video. Was the challenger players, the best players in the world, and you has the exact same amount of options in the early game. You're playing probably very similar or as close as you could compared to other games. That's the
I
shows you that I
think.
have a feeling you're gonna make.
Yeah, you had a you have the right feeling. I think I made it here.
I really hope you sell this Kazakh. I really hope you sell it.
No, I made a Stojan.
Uh
I think.
okay,
Yeah,
so
I made it.
so can you pause it? So we
Yeah,
have
I
done.
know now
Uh huh.
it's a bad idea to go
Okay.
Stojan, but
Okay.
I thought it was a good idea. Now I know it's not.
No, it's fine.
So
It's fine. Again, we're here to learn, man. Um. So in retrospect, I think you would agree, right, that the play was to sell Kazakhs and buy the Annie.
yeah, but I won this game. So this round, and I bought Annie.
Oh, okay, okay. But again, right, we don't want okay, we don't want our
Yeah,
choices
we
to
just don't want to
be
rely on
exact. Like we want the most effective play that we can, not look at it based on rewards. Is what I'm trying to say. Also, because you have two tanks and you have Kazakhs, I'm still not 100% sure if this is correct, but I've been playing with it. I move my unit more to the back, like in front of Kazakhs. So when Kazakhs jumps, the units have to walk a little bit, so my tanks have to tank for less time, and they don't die as fast.
Okay.
But this is something I'm experimenting myself with, so I'm not necessarily telling you that's what you're supposed to do, but it is an alternative that you can play around with yourself and figure out whether you like it or not. But okay,
Okay.
you can hit you can press play. I would probably also give the Leona the sword because you just haven't. I'm just a big fan of using all of. What? You thought about it? No, you can do it.
Yeah, I thought about it.
I just like I like using all of my items as much as possible. I think it's the most value you can do. Wow, you won against this guy? That's four
Mhm.
units, man.
I had two level twos. He only had a
He had
Caitlyn.
two tanks level twos, and it's Malphite slapping. Okay.
But Kazakh's laughing, man.
Nah, man, Kha'Zix is garbage. Kha'Zix is the epitome of trash.
Look how much damage he did. Look how much damage he did, man.
If I were to do a stroll poll between Zoe, Kha'Zix, and uh, Zoe, Kha'Zix, and Caitlyn, the amount of trash that is insane. Okay. Okay, so here you decide to sell the Kha'Zix? Because you have the item that you want to give to
No,
Kaisa.
I didn't.
Oh, you didn't say
Just
Kazakhs.
put it back in.
Okay. I feel at this point you're probably better off with the Kaiser. She's significantly stronger than the Kazakhs.
Yes, I was thinking about putting her in, but because there was no other Kazakhs, I was like scared if I don't get another Kazakhs.
So because this play was so straightforward and there wasn't much else you could do, I think you would be better off scouting a little bit more. I know it's a more challenging thing, but it's something to consider for the future games.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that Malphite dance. Hey.
Wrong.
Okay, hopefully we get a couple more like interesting decision making here. Okay, so I want to see what you do here. Man, good amount of seconds, man. Okay, you're scanning a little bit. I like it.
Just just a little bit.
Okay,
The top, I know if
so
I'm
can you pause it?
stronger than the top. Yes.
So, would you have done anything different this turn?
Mm, Probably sell the Kazakh because that soldier was intended for Kaisa. And sell the Kazakhs for Fiora and or Annie. Something.
So, is there any way you could have made econ this game? Is there any way you could have hit 10 gold?
Selling Kazakhs and both Fioras.
Yeah, I think that would have been the more optimal play. Do you agree?
I totally agree. Yes.
Okay, cool. So they're gonna play it out. Also, if you have Cossacks having a full build item, you can also give him the sword because you're planning on selling him eventually, right? So having more damage is always good. Look at all these mouth. Okay, so we saw someone with a Kaisa last round, and now we saw someone with a Rumble. Now we're starting to get concerned, right? It's something that we need to be more on the lookout for lobbies like this. And this is why originally picking up the Fioras was better, because we wanted to stay flexible, because if we get contested, it's pretty yikers. So can you pause it here? So what are our item order? What are we looking for?
Uh, Probably the sword.
Sword.
Or
You're looking at the Syndra?
yeah.
So we talked about Rumble wanting to have the QSS, and there's a Rumble with a fist.
That's also a viable option. Yes.
No, that's literally the best thing you could possibly ever want in this character. Like, um, that's priority, right? Because we always go for items first, right? But if there's a unit
Mm-hmm.
that has the item that we want, we're basically thirsting for it. Like if that was a Shaco with a sword, it'd be like, I want it. Let me out, I want it. Right? So looking for the Rumble with a fist. If we can't get the Rumble with a fist, then we go for the Syndra with a sword. I agree. If you don't get the Syndra, what are we going for?
The rod.
The rod, yeah. Okay, and then we have the spat because there's a bunch of them, and then you can do the demolition at spat with it. But the reason why I want to go in this order is because right now you are going to be last pick in the carousel, so you have the item order that you want, and so you're probably not going to get the thing that you want. But because you are at the top, you need to have like an alternative. Okay, if I don't get this item, I want this. If I don't get this, I want that. If you were at the bottom, you're like, okay, I want it, and I'm going to take it, right?
Yeah. Unless the other guy takes it.
Yeah. Okay, you can press play.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think everything got taken that I wanted. So the sword got
Ah,
taken.
tragic.
The
Oh
rod.
man. Okay, but you see how that Pink Penguin took our Rumble?
Yeah.
So now I'm concerned, and I want to know.
Everything was taken. I just got left with a spatula to
Well, that's
take.
fine. We can try to do a fawn then. Like it's fine. But now I'm concerned about that guy, and I want to make sure I scout him specifically to know that he's not contesting me.
Yeah, tax evasion. He was contesting me. He got
Okay.
level 3 Annie.
Okay.
Can't remember what I did here.
So
Yeah,
you have
I
a
don't know.
really good cybernetic setup, honestly. It's just you're not familiar with the comp, but if you pivoted to cybernetics, you would have. You mentioned that you won, right? Or is this the game you got fourth?
I got fourth.
You got fourth. Okay. Let's pause real quick. What happened there, man?
I thought I did a good thing there to level for 5.
Okay. I just I want to understand your rationale more than anything else. Why did you level to 5 there?
Just to stay stronger.
Why do you want to stay strong?
Uh,
It's fine if you don't know. You can tell me I don't know, and I will explain it to you. I'm just trying to understand where you're
trying to
coming from.
figure it out. Yeah, I
Okay.
know.
So this is the kind of like this is an aggressive play, right? Because we're trying to win, and we're putting it all in. The thing is,
Yeah.
we don't have money. We're completely dry right now. We
Uh-huh.
just lost a round, right? So we're not trying to conserve a win streak, and our units are not the units that we're gonna keep in the late game. So essentially, you ruined your econ by leveling, and you
Mm-hmm.
position Fiora in the back when she's a melee champion. So the play here is to move Leona one to the left, put Fiora where Leona is, so the tanks are on the side, and your melee main carry is in the middle. Does that make sense?
So Leona here and Fiora here.
No, Leona to the left.
Okay, Leona here and Fiora here.
Exactly.
Okay.
And so, in most of the time, remember, our goal in the early game is to hit 50 gold. 50 gold is the number because we make so much money off of 50 gold. Like whether we're winning or losing, at least we're making 10 coins every single turn. And like the
Mm-hmm.
slower you get to 50 gold, the harder the game is going to be for you.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm trying to think here. I think that's all I can really say about this turn. Okay, you can press play. And the guy that came in has 20 gold. He's gonna get a bunch of interest off of that. But he's only a trash comp in my eyes, so Papega. But honestly, like Econ might be able to win him the game, but the protectors in 2020. JK. I love protectors. I love protectors. I really do.
Texas in 2020.
I've seen them be strong. Okay. We're not scouting as much as I would like you to scout, especially like you see all this idle time that you're just kind of looking at the screen.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Scouting. More scouting.
Yeah.
More
But
scouting.
again, it's starting with a purpose because we want to be able to like pivot if we have to. Okay. Can you pause here?
See.
Is there any way that we could have made 10 gold here?
Could have made 10 gold.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, sell classic, sell any.
Why?
I don't know. 10 gold.
Again, so remember, it's like the analogy that I used
You're
last time.
asking me.
No,
You're
and that's fine. But I'm trying to lead you somewhere with the questions, right? And so,
okay.
like we're sailing, right? We have a direction. We have no somewhere that we want to go. We want to go infiltrators, mech infiltrator, right?
Yeah.
If we have units that are part of our end game comp, we're gonna keep them. We need to keep them in order to go online. If we have units that don't belong there, we're fine with selling them, even if we're weaker.
Okay.
Does that make
Sell
sense?
Fiora, sell Kazakhs.
Okay, I would have sold Kha'Zix a while ago, right? But for this turn in
Yeah.
specific, I would sell Fiora. With just selling Fiora, you get 10 gold interest. You can put
Oh
in
yeah. Why did I think I want 6? Okay.
you can put a second Kaisa. You can do a lot of things. You're probably gonna lose this round. because I'm assuming the strong players are gonna. So at this point in the game, the strong players are gonna be stronger because they want to keep their win streaks, and the weak players want to keep their lose streaks if they know what they're doing. Thing is, you're in low elo, so it's a party fiesta, and so probably like strong players like to stay strong, right, regardless of the elo. The thing is,
Yeah.
weak players are gonna push early, and so on average, because of where I'm playing at, I'm just going to assume they're going to be strong, which you might be able to win this round, but statistically speaking, I think you're not going to. So we really need to hit that 10 gold interest. We want it always, but specifically because we're going to lose this, and now we're in a win, lose, and we need we're looking for those sprees because that's how what you really abuse in the game. You
Mm-hmm.
can press play. See, look at this. Look at this. This guy's in the middle of the pack, but has zero money. Just pushed all the way. I knew it. Like I didn't even need the turn to start to knew that you were gonna fight someone that just pushed it all the way. You were fortunate to win it. Oh, I will say that much. Okay, can you pause it? Would you sell Kaisa or Annie?
I would sell Annie.
No.
Kaisa, no, because
I personally would not sell her. There is an argument to be said about selling her. The thing is, she's a unit that I want a 3-star. If I wanted to 2-star her, I would be fine. I would probably sell her. But I'm trying to 3-star her, and that means I want every single Annie I can get my hands on, unless I took one from Carousel and she had an item that I needed to get off of her. That's the only reason I would ever think of selling an Annie, even if I have
yeah,
to lose.
we also
Mhm.
kind of want to three-star the Kaisa.
So yeah, so I wouldn't sell either of them. That's what I'm trying to get at. Like
Yeah,
because
same.
in the previous video, like last time we talked about this, coaching Star Guardians, I believe I told you like sell Zoe because we want to make Econ this turn, but we never wanted level 3 Zoe. Zoe was uncontested. Annie and Kaisa are both going to be contested because they're part of the meta, and so that's the rationale you have to think about whenever you're selling units to make Econ.
Okay.
Okay, so you can press play here. We're gonna take a quick pause, I think.
I had to mute myself.
No, that's fine. Okay, and this is there we go. We got the Annie. Now we got the Kazakhs, and now the Kazakh has the Shojin. Great. I like your positioning here. This is good.
Yeah.
Okay, so I feel like the last couple of times we've talked about it, you feel comfortable doing these rounds. It's gonna be pretty straightforward. Ah, you're using it to scout. That's what I want. A little bit more than that, but yeah. Okay, so we're thinking
A
about
little bit more than that.
ah,
So
uh-huh.
because I had demolition here,
Mm-hmm.
I I put it on Kaisa.
Okay, so why did we put it on Kaisa?
Because of the demolition thingy.
So
But without rumble here, it's not good.
okay.
But and I put the GA on the Kazakhs.
So can you pause it here?
Yes.
So if you had the chance to redo this turn, what would you do different?
Probably not rush the demolition
Okay.
and not put the GA on Kazakhs. But that's maybe. Eh.
The GA can go on anyone that you're gonna sell. I would probably do GA Fiora just because her stun. She's got an ultimate that can channel and can go through the GA proc. Um.
Yeah, I was planning on selling Kazakhs too, so it's
Okay.
just item hold at this point.
And so, who? So, what item would you make if you're not making demolitionist? Are you making items this turn?
Yeah, GA, like I said,
And
Kazakhs
anything else?
and demolitionist.
No, no. But if you could redo the turn.
If you can redo the turn,
Hmm.
I can't remember what. items are synergizing for. Uh, I guess keep this for Morelos. Uh, keep that for the Titans resolve. So I don't know.
Okay, I don't
Probably
want.
would have
The thing is, I don't
I
want you
would have gone
thinking.
GA.
I don't want.
I would have gone GA,
Okay.
but then kept the spatula and rod and kept the spatula here and give the rod to Kaisa for
Okay.
demolition trade.
Perfect. That's what I would have done. I would have honestly just sold Malphite and just give Kaisa the Morello. Morello's a very, very strong item.
Oh yeah, we have Morelos
Yeah.
because Malphite. Yeah,
And
but
so
didn't
probably,
feel.
and now Annie's level 2, so she's kind of strong and she can hold her own in the fight. You can GA the Kha'Zix because he's like again our item holder now, and that would be your comp. Okay, so you can press play here. Okay, so we talked about the Fiora thing already.
Yeah,
And I will
but
not deny though, Demo's Pet is really fun.
I alt tapped here to check. Uh, let's see, no mouse cursor on the screen. Now I'm now I'm back. I would have stopped here and not put that there, but I
Okay.
did.
Okay.
Oh well.
Wait. Pause it.
Okay.
Did you notice anything on the screen that should have like raised a red flag for you?
Raise red flag. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Rewind like 5 seconds or 10 seconds.
Rewind.
Okay. And press play.
Here.
Yeah. Pause it. Is there anything that is on the screen right now that needs to be raising a red flag for you?
Yeah, because only one demolitionist.
You're not looking at the screen, man. I don't want you to only look at your board.
Oh, Annie.
Ah, there we go. If you see somebody make an Annie 2, you need to be angry. Well, not really angry, but like be aware, right? You need to. Whoa, what's that? Annie 2? Wait a minute. You gotta scout that like that,
Yeah.
right?
I
Uh,
think I didn't see it because I was making the item, but I did
and
went to scout once he got Shaco level 2. I saw that Shaco level. Oh fuck.
and
Oh
I
no.
and again let's try to keep the cursing to a minimum. But I get
Yeah.
that. But the game gives you a lot of information, right? The game told you that somebody was contesting you, and I don't think at this point you were kind of aware that you were already being contested.
I
So
was.
we didn't make the 20
I
gold.
I kind of knew I was being contested,
Okay, can you pause it?
but
So if I ask you at this point in the game, did you know how many people were contesting you?
no. And I don't think at this point of the game I didn't know I was being contested at
Oh,
all.
okay. I thought you said that you knew. My bad.
I knew that somebody's gonna go for it. Like,
But what?
you know.
No, that's an assumption, right? You don't know that for
Yeah,
sure. You
that's
just
an assumption. Yeah, I
no,
didn't know for sure, but
no. You.
I kind of somebody's gonna go for it.
So I don't know if you know what they say about assumptions, but we don't want to assume ever. So that's what scouting is for. In the 2 games that I played today, that I got back-to-back first place with this comp, nobody was contesting me, and I knew they weren't contesting me, not because I made an assumption that they know nobody was going to contest me. It's because I scouted consistently in the early game to make sure nobody was contesting me. Like honestly, I was gonna force it anyways, but I needed to know how aggressive I needed to play. Like your level of aggression has to be based on the lobby and the amount of people contesting you. And because like back in the day, let's say last week, right? Everybody was going rebels,
They,
but rebels
yeah.
was so strong that you would still be able to get top 4 if you were able to high roll compared to everybody else. But a comp like this, where you need to hit your 3 costs, if half the lobby's doing it, half the lobby's gonna get bottom 8. So you win top 4 if you pivot. Does that make sense?
Okay. Pivot.
Okay.
Explain.
Pivot is instead of making all these items early game like you did, you make one or
Mhm.
two items that are very very important, and then you keep certain units that are going to be strong later on, which I'll let you to alternate into another comp. Right now you have Fiora level 2 and Leona level 2. If you only
Mm-hmm.
had the GA, you could have a sword, and then you could make GA, i.e. Aurelia. You have the Spat, which is a really good item on Cybernetics, because Cybernetics only needs to hold one item, and the Spat is an item. And then imagine if the Spat alone gave a unit 350 health and like 35 damage. That's huge. Like a single Spat that does nothing on its own. It's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So the idea is in competitive lobbies, we stay flexible, and if they all in on one comp, we pivot and we always get profit. But if we high roll the units that we want, then we force it because we're ahead. Like if you had Rumble, let's say you high rolled a Fizz, right? There's a 5% chance to hit Fizz right now. If you high rolled a
Mm-hmm.
Fizz, you're like, no, me Infiltrator mech because I'm ahead. I don't know if you remember, like I think
Yeah.
it was like the first one where I was pissed. No, it was the second one where I was pissed that half the lobby
Yeah.
was contesting me because I was in the lead and everybody was still contesting me. It's like, no, I'm ahead. You pivot. That's the game. That's the way the game needs to work. Because if I'm ahead, you are griefing yourself by trying to contest me. And like, you're definitely gonna get bottom eight, and now I'm probably gonna hit bottom eight or low top four because of your bad play.
Yeah. I got fourth.
Okay, that's fine. And again, top four is always profit. Maybe more, maybe less, but profit is profit at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Then you can press play. Okay, I like the scouting. So when you scout, like you finished that scouting, and were you thinking about anything? Like what was your train of thought after you finished that scouting?
Uh, it was nothing because I just looked at the. So I went for scouting here, right?
So when I go
Yeah.
scouting, can you pause it real quick?
Okay.
So when I go scouting, I'm
So
looking for two
so
things in particular.
so tax evasion. It didn't look like any that he's going. I was looking here,
Oh, because you're looking
not
at
on his board,
mm-hmm.
and in here he has a Kazik level 2. There's Shaco, Kaisa, Rumble, and Annie. I didn't even realize that. I was just looking. Okay, nobody's contesting, and then I just passed on.
So wait, can you go back? I like that scene a lot, and I like what you said. I like what you said a lot. And we want to pause it when you were looking at that take Asian guy. Because he's doing something that I think is really smart. And it's something we're basically talking about right now. Look at his items.
Mhm.
You see how he hasn't made anything?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
I disagree with that because he's not getting the power that he could be having actively with them. But he hasn't combined them. Combining items commits you to a comp that you're already going for. But having them uncombined means you're flexible to do other things. So the three things, actually not two, the three things to look at here are when you're scouting, you're looking at the synergies of other people. You're looking at their benches, which is a challenging thing to do, and even I struggle with that, so I understand. And out of everybody who's out there, what are they contesting you on, and what are you going to need to itemize against? So there was a patch like last set. There was at one point there was a meta that was very very aggressive. There was a lot of sword, a lot of damage. And in those lobbies, if you itemize, actually no, it was Yasuo. Yasuo was a two cost over there as well. And
Mhm.
if you put a bramble, which is two armors, on one of your
Mhm.
tanks, and then you put another item, so you have two items on them. So Yasuo would target them because Yasuo targets the unit with most items. Yasuo killed himself because the bramble reflected a ton of the damage off. But you know that you needed to go that bramble if somebody was playing Yasuo. So you were using your items based on the lobby itself. If there's a lot of magic ability like sorcerers, then you want to focus on mystics because mystics give you magic resist. So when you're scouting, you're looking for what's the most prevalent comp. Is anybody contesting me? And to know whether or not someone's contesting you, you have to look at the bench and at the board. So those are the three things that we want to look at when we're scouting. So if I
Yeah.
finish scouting, the things that I want you to be thinking at, okay, I'm seeing Two Void Storks because I see Valkots. I see one Infiltrator. I see one Protector, and I see one Star Guardian. Right. So in your mind, you can visualize a lot of information very condensed that you saw in like a quick grasp of or just scouting really quick.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So good.
So, because I just looked over here and just
Yeah.
glanced real quick, uh, I was feeling confident enough that you were testing me.
uh, remember,
And
the game gave you information because see those pop-ups on the side. That's another way of keeping you in the know. Like when I
yeah,
see
Mordekaiser
one
2.
person hit like Mordekaiser 2 twice, I'm like, wait, is that Mordekaiser 3 coming? Like I'm concerned about that. Like 3 costs are always things that we're always thinking about.
Yeah.
Actually, I'll be right back. Give me 5 seconds. Okay. What happened? Where are we? Okay,
I just paused.
that's just fine. So we picked up Danny. We won the last fight. Okay. Somebody got a Blitzcrank. So you saw the Blitzcrank too. So now you know people are gonna be able to hook your corners. So you have to be aware and make sure that your corners are covered.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's no corners, so
Okay, can
it
you
will
pause
it,
it?
it, it will pull this.
So
What if you're?
would you have done anything different this turn?
Is it different?
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, that's fine. I agree. Sometimes I'll just ask questions just to double check. Yeah, I agree. That's fine.
Okay.
We got that Bramble. We got that 50 gold. He's got items on the bench. That Darius is making bank for him too.
Yeah. Like
He is so rich, man. Man, that Darius dance feels like he's BMing you. So can we pause it here? So what are you thinking here?
um, either the glove or this cloak.
So do we have a fist at like in with our units?
What?
Do we have a fist? I just can't remember our like the items.
No, we didn't have a sword.
Okay, yeah. I would go for the 3 cost. Yeah. Man, look at that Vel'Koz. If you were doing Vel'Koz, that'd be so strong because you could do Morello, and it's pretty early too. Looking nice, nice. Ah, this man looks like he wants everything. Ah, he's asleep. Ah, that's what you get, man. Sleep at the wheel. Yeah, I hate to see it. So at this point, I think if you played the early game correctly, you would have 50 gold and you would be hitting a lot more of those Annies.
Yeah, you are correct. If I just knew how to play.
Oh man, again, that's what we're here for. I'm just because I'm just trying to explain the difference between like being able like the importance of piloting the early game correctly.
This I saw.
Oh no 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 no!
Uh,
The man
like
is huge, man. Please tell me you scout him. We need to scout him. Show me his board.
yeah,
You
I
can.
didn't. I don't know what I was thinking. I saw it in the corner of my eye. Okay, and
That's
blocking
a
this
very
guy.
calm reaction to something that would make me probably
I
panic. Okay.
I know. I don't know what I was thinking there. Like
Well,
I saw that on the corner. But okay, it's
that's
probably
unfortunate.
fine. It's fine. Somebody's contesting me. It's
It
not
just
a
reminds
big
me like the
deal.
dog on fire. Like this is fine.
Yeah. Casks clutched it.
So we are lose, win, lose, win. If we lose the next round, we are probably in the worst possible street possible.
Yeah. You can shit. Um.
Again, the guy, please keep
And,
it. Ah!
and and I saw both of
Oh
those
my
shakers, and I'm like
goodness. So,
looking
can
that,
you pause it?
okay, and looking here,
No, no, but go
like
back, go back. I know you want to show me the screen, but wow, he rolled it down. Okay, so yeah, play.
he
And
got shaker,
ah!
and the other one got shaker.
So we scout. So can you pause it here? So we scout, so we don't get caught off guard like that. And so, do you know what comp he's going?
He's going Darkstar.
Okay, he's going Darkstar. And you see him with 50 gold, right? Like he's
Yeah.
playing it smart. And then press play. And then we see this guy. This guy right here that is forcing the comp like nothing else.
Yeah, so again, I just saw the Shaco, not this backline here. I know that's like such a
So,
horrible thing. Look at this like mech galore in the background. He just needs a fizz.
so
I'm
do
like,
you think
okay, Shaco, that's not good.
you
Okay.
think he did an appropriate play here? Would you ever
Uh,
say that's correct?
what's correct? His playing. He did.
Like his
I mean, I wouldn't have I wouldn't have rolled down to zero.
exactly, yeah. Like that's a very bad play, right? Like that
He
that should
wanted that Shaco and he got it.
the thing is it's a bad play because you ult in at 3-6. First of all, you're right before the PvE round. So if you were gonna do this, you should probably do it during the PvE round if you wanted to be aggressive, because the point of rolling all the way down at this level is to establish dominance. To say, I'm the Mech Infiltrator in this lobby, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, I get that. The thing is, it's very high risk because if anybody else had anything like, if you were to econ properly and you were slow rolling, he probably would not have hit as many of the things that he would have hit, and he probably just would have lost the game off of that. Like that's a very hard commit right there. Um, I personally
He got
don't like
lucky.
that. Uh-huh.
He got lucky. With
Not
what he
necessarily
what
lucky
he
though, because again, he's level 6, right? So he has 35%
mm,
chance for 2 costs and 35% chance for 3 costs. So it's not luck. He played it optimally. He just played it as aggressive as humanly possible, and I don't agree with an aggression at that level when you're trying to 3-star and you need a lot of money.
right, yes.
Okay, so I'm assuming you were a little stressed out here. Uh, what were you
Yes,
thinking?
I was mad about the Shaco and I still didn't see
Oh,
his bench.
okay. So this is when you're
I
gonna
was
get
like,
tilted, right?
okay. I was like, okay. Two people is taking my Shacos. Okay. Uh, it's fine. I'm
Oh,
not angry.
oh, he just hit
And
his.
yeah, and I didn't see that. So he hit Fizz. I didn't realize it. He moved the Rumble, so I didn't realize that either. I'm just paying attention to Shaco because fuck you, take my Shaco.
My guy again. Please the PG.
And yeah, okay, sorry. And I went back to mine and just okay. This is not good. Not looking good.
Yeah, at this point, it's honestly I go next. Oh, and we have to fight him too, so the game's just gonna slap us
Yeah.
with reality. Oh,
I was like, oh shit, it's
this is
gonna
the point where
die.
we desperation pivot. We desperation pivot into something else because he rolled first and hit a lot of the stuff that we wanted.
Yeah, I know how to pivot. You're gonna teach me that.
Okay, we can do a different video on that. That one we can do it live, or like I can do a game and then like hard pivot on purpose, so you can see what I'm doing, and then you can try to do one, and then we can talk about it over that one. We can make a video about pivoting. Is what I'm trying to say. Out of words.
Yeah, but I would like the same as I was trying to hit
So can you pause it?
something. I
So I get that you were trying to hit something. So what would you do anything different?
probably leveled and then rolled it down.
Okay, I agree. I want to know why.
Because better chances for Shaco
Exactly.
and
Yep. Yep. That we're on the same page. I like that. Okay.
play.
Yeah. Oh, I gotta look at scary, scary man.
What?
That guy hit a Lux 2 over there.
No, looks yeah. I didn't realize that.
Oh no, that's fine, man. But
I,
again,
I,
it
I,
just
I
uh huh.
I have to pay attention to more things. I'm just not that.
Yeah, it just
Uh,
I play this
I
game
don't
like I
know
play League.
stats.
I play this game like I play League. It's all about information, like wards. Oh, and then we get the spat that we could have made a fawn.
Yeah. So league. Uh. I my map awareness is shit.
That's fine,
I'm
man.
so
That it's something we're gonna
my
be improving on.
my map awareness in league
It's really bad. I get
so
that.
so garbage.
It's
I
fine. It's fine. Again, we don't want to focus on the negatives. We're gonna keep on trying. Ah, we hit Kaisa. Okay.
we hit Kai'Sa, yeah. Same as the other dude there. Huh? I'm just trying to find the fizz. I'm yeah. So I hit the rumble, picked up the Kai'Sa.
Okay.
I was still trying to go for
So
Ani
can you pause it?
3-star. So I was trying to 3-star Annie because I didn't know he was also going to do the same. But
Okay. So
I I I,
press
I
play
get.
because I want to have all the units on the board.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So that when they stop, can you pause it one more time? Okay. So you made Warmogs. I know you like
Yeah.
Warmogs. It's something that feels comfortable for you, right?
Yeah, because I thought I'm not getting a lot more items or warmogs on what the mech it is.
So Warmog for the mech. But so would you have done anything different now that you talk about this?
I I know what could have I done better. Maybe waited for the more warmogs. So
So
not
when it
doing
comes to
anything.
items, we know where we're going. We know where we're headed. We know what we want. We want GA, USS,
Yeah.
Morello, Seraphs,
Yeah.
right? So we're gonna play for those in specific. We're gonna believe that we're gonna in carousel we're gonna try to get the items closest to what to complete the items that we want. So if I have a
Yeah.
giant scope, I'm trying to get a rod on carousel, and then I'm hoping to get a tier on the PVE.
Yeah. Now I know that, but
No,
at that point I didn't know that.
and that's why I'm trying to ask the questions like now that we've talked about this, like what would you have done different, right?
Mm,
So you are sitting at 49 gold.
yeah.
You could have also sold the Fiora because now you hit the mid game. You're at 4-1. When you hit
Yeah.
5-1, when this entire stage is over, you're gonna be entering the late game. And so level like one costs are very weak at this point. So you need to either make econ or have strong units. And so
Yeah. I know I should have sold that, put Annie in.
exactly, okay. Yeah, as long as we're on the same page, I'm good. I don't really mind the misplays. I mind you not learning from them. That's what I care about.
Yeah. I'll try my best.
No, and that's fine. The thing
Next
is like
game.
when you play the comp not as efficiently as possible and lose, then you feel the comp it's not good, right? But if you learn how to pilot one comp and then the other one slowly, they all together start making sense. I think because the fundamentals are always going to be the same. The fundamentals are money, items, and units and levels. Those four things. Well, and the information of scouting. Five things, I guess.
Hmm. Got 3 Nikos there. Finally hit my Shaco. Now swap the Fiora with it.
Okay.
So the Fiora. Because no fizz, I was still not putting any in at
So
this point.
you're tunneling on Fizz, right?
Yeah, I'm waiting on Fizz.
No, you're
I
tunneling
I
though.
I
Can you pause it?
I'm what?
You're tunneling. You're only focused on Fizz. Fizz is the only unit that you're really focusing on right now because you want to get the mech out as early as possible because the mech does help in the
Yeah,
mid game, right?
I want the mech online exactly.
The thing is, you don't need the mech to be strong. Mech is a nice to have. The chances of you hitting a mech is getting a Fizz, and the chances of hitting any 4 cost is 10%. So it is statistically
Mm,
unlikely that you hit the Fizz. If we hit the Fizz, fantastic. But if we don't, we need to figure out how to be the strongest possible until we hit the Fizz and we hit the units that we're looking for.
Shaco, level 3 Kaisa.
Exactly. So our mind is not really going on Fizz right now. Our mind is going on leveling up our units. So
It should, but it's not.
yeah, but that's okay.
At that point, I'm looking for Fizz.
It's the goal. It's the mentality goal that we want to have, right? So you have your item holder Kha'Zix. At this point, Kha'Zix is falling off, and
Yeah,
we want to.
I know I should have sold that
Okay.
this round.
Honestly, at this point, I would probably
Put
sell
in the Lux.
Malphite, Leona, and Kha'Zix, all three of them. Just like wham, let's go. I want money. I want to be able to roll it down. I want to hit my units. I'm at the level with the best percentages for my units. I can hit Shaco and get strong. I want to give Shaco the GA, and if I
Mm,
had the Giant, I would want to give it to Kaisa. Does that make sense?
okay. Yeah.
Okay, so you can press play. Man, something happened to the quality here. It kind of dropped pretty significantly there for a second. No, no, you're good. You're good.
It's
Yeah,
this
that's.
card most
Oh,
likely.
gotcha.
It looks fine here because this is 4K. Just this
Oh,
card is.
4K. Okay. I see you. I like it.
I
Ooh, look at that
I
Kaisa
never.
damage. Man,
Yeah.
imagine if she had a Seraph. We've been unlucky. So putting the tier on the sword makes it so it's harder to find the Seraphs. Because then if we could have Kaisa with that mana, ooh, she would be rolling. Ah! We hit it!
Yeah.
We
We
did it!
did it. So now I put the mech online.
Okay.
Put the Warmox on. What I intended on doing.
Okay.
And sold Kha'Zix. Put the Lux. Put the Gia and Shaco. Put that also on Shaco and put that on there.
So
That's
can you
all
pause it?
intended what I wanted. So
Can
what
you
I
pause it?
wanted, trying to pause it, okay.
Okay.
So what I was thinking is I need a sword for Shaco now.
Um, why did we put the Negatrons on Shaco? Because we want BT?
Yeah.
Okay, but would you have done anything different this turn?
Mm, I don't know, maybe put the Kais instead of the Lux, but I'm not sure. No,
So,
I think I would have.
uh,
I wouldn't have done anything different.
okay, so you put in the Lux, right? What does Lux do for you?
Sorcerer buff.
Sorcerer buff, right? What would have happened if you left the Kazakhstan?
What happened if I was the Kazakhstan? Uh, 4 infiltrators.
You would have had 4 infiltrators. 4 infiltrators is stronger than 2 sorcerers.
Okay, so that was a bad play for 7 Kazakhstan.
Yeah.
That's
So we need to keep Kazakhs in until we hit another Kazakhs, right? And so
okay.
I know that you were thinking about BT, right? Because you're thinking about itemizing Shaco. But remember, this
Mm,
comp literally gets countered by one item. One. And so we need to make sure
true.
that the mech has QSS.
Yeah, I know.
So that Negatron, we were holding it not for Shaco, but for the mech.
Okay.
Okay?
I was holding for the shake, not for the mech, but
Yeah, but again,
uh,
we want to
yeah.
focus on the core items of the comp, and then we can do whatever we want with anything that we have extra, right? So
That's
it's
why I'm saying what.
okay. Like it's
I
GA
appreciate
Shaco,
that.
QSS Mech, Seraph, and Morello Kaisa. Sound good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hit play.
Yeah.
So what? Oh, that coachee. Yeah. You see that too? This.
Oh, that's just the animation, yeah.
Oh, lovely. What would so sword is the ideal item to start the carousel, right?
For the starting carousel, yeah.
Okay. Just
Yeah, because we want to rush GA because GA gives us a lot of value in the early game. And if we can make two GAs, that's fine. But and if we can give Jaco an IE or IBT, that's also great. But not our priority.
okay.
But again, we got the mech. The mech is really strong in the mid game, so we're probably gonna win the next couple of rounds. Man, why is this guy holding rumbles though? He doesn't have 50 gold and he's still holding rumbles. The
Yeah.
BM.
I'm trying to focus on getting my units. So I wanted that sword,
You wanted the sword,
and
okay.
I was already going for BT.
Man, that guy's on the bottom with 70 health. It's so good because I'm pretty sure I think he's been lose streaking, but I haven't been able to really tell.
Probably, yeah. I got it and I put it on Shaco.
Okay. So I would itemize as long as Shaco has the GA, I think he can do things. But the unit that uses most items in my comp is Kaisa because I want her with the Marlo and the Seraph, which is pretty hard to get.
Okay.
Okay, we hit it. Ah, you did it. Okay. So
Yeah.
you sold it because you really wanted the items, but then you lost the power from the thing. You can pick up the Lux, it's fine.
Yeah.
I personally don't like picking up Luxes because it's money that I'm not using for rolling, and I'm just desperate to hit all my level 3s. So I leave Lux all the way to once I'm already level 7.
Okay. That's. I'll keep that in mind.
Another Annie! Wait! Okay, not
Yeah.
yet. Is that Annie 3? No, it's not. Soon though.
Not yet. He was almost at Annie's three. He was same with Annie as I was, I think.
Bam! No, do it! No, the Meg didn't get the slap. Oh man, yeah, I hate to see it. Look at that Shaco though. I'm
The
playing.
mech
I'm
pop.
blaming.
Crazy, man.
Boom. Boom. And then Shaco. Oh,
Oh, Shaco died.
Shaco. No, yeah, I hate to see it. Oh,
And oof, yeah. But, that was in
tragic.
hindsight, I would have I should have wrote it down. So Rumble, I saw that. Uh, I wanted
So
to
you
start
made this
any
Lux
of.
that's just gonna sit there and chill for basically the entire game,
Yeah,
right?
I
Yeah.
know. No, I know now.
And that's fine. That's awesome, dude. Like as long as you know now and you're not gonna do that in the future, that means the next couple of games that you play, you're gonna do so much better. And if you got a fourth, like making these mistakes, imagine how much better you're gonna be in the next couple of games. And then Blitzcrank tries to hook, and he gets the hook in.
Yeah,
Look at the
but
Mag not doing anything.
yeah, QSF is really important. You are
Yeah, dude, it blows my mind how important QSS is. Like when Misfortune was strong, I would prefer to have QSS over Seraphs because like she gets hooked once, she's worthless.
I still
Oh,
won though.
yeah, we still win this because Caitlyn is a worthless unit. Zoe, Caitlyn, Kha'Zix walk into a bar, they kick them all out because they're worthless.
So about now he hits his annual level 3.
Oh
I
no.
don't know actually when, but that was like devastating. But I think he hit annual level 3 when I had like one off annual level 3.
Uh, remember, we want to keep it a positive mental attitude. So if we hit it, we do our best. If we didn't win, there's always next game. And it's hard, man. Like when you're trying to climb and you're like super close, and then like you feel yourself being tilted and going up and down. You can tell that he doesn't know the comp very well because the roll down when he did it, and he's not itemizing like efficiently.
Mm-hmm.
We got a shiv, which is an early game item, which we hate to see it.
And I put the shiv on Kaisen because yes. Uh,
Um, I believe that bow. Can you pause it?
yeah, it is.
Okay, can you pause it?
Like,
So, do you know the bow items? I mean, the spat items.
what?
Do you know what items you can make with a spatula?
You can make traits.
Yeah, I think honestly, knowing the spatula items is one of the hardest things because it changes every set. So it always takes a second to
Yeah.
figure them out.
So
Uh,
I didn't get a level 3 Shaco
okay.
from shop. At this carousel, I think I got a Shaco with a Dark Star thing
That.
trait,
Okay.
and then I put the Lux in, or and put the Dark Star on somebody, so I had Dark Star trait.
So the thing is,
So I did Dark
can you
Star
pause it?
thingy. Yeah.
So this is probably gonna take a minute. So this play you were not going to be able to know if you needed to do if you don't know the items that spatula can make. That spatula can make. Um,
Okay.
and so I believe that bow and spatula. Let me double check. But I believe bow and spatula
Is
uh,
Infiltrator.
makes infiltrator, right? So right now we have a unit on the board which is completely utterly worthless, right?
Lux, yeah.
No, not lugs. Kha'Zix. We have a level 1 Kha'Zix,
Oh, on the board. Okay, okay, yeah.
right? So if we can
Mm-hmm.
make Lux an infiltrator, then we have Sork and infiltrator. And on top of that, I think in the previous session or at some point we talked about Static Shift being an early game item, and you're making it at 5-1 when we've already entered quote unquote the late game, right?
Yeah.
So we don't want early game items in the late game, and it's more efficient to have two traits instead of one. So the play here was to give Lux the Infiltrator buff, and then pick out Kha'Zix.
Would she also jump with the
That's
ulti
fine.
to the backline?
That's fine.
Lol.
Yeah, well, it's funny, but yeah, sure, we don't mind.
A jumping Lux. I would love to see that.
There used to be a jumping Olaf, and Olaf was like a melee champion. Imagine a jumping Malphite. That was the equivalent. Like what? It's funny to watch, but hey, if it works, it works.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, you can press play here.
I'll keep that. I'll keep that in mind.
Awesome, dude. Happy to hear it.
And again, I don't know if it would be good, but I think rolling it down here may have been the play. So I might,
Um,
or maybe
honestly,
not. I don't know.
at this point, so many mistakes have been made, so it's really hard to make a comeback at this point. If you were gonna roll it down, you needed to either do it at the same time as the other guy, or when he was finally starting to make money to contest the aggression play. But I think he rolled it down once, made 50 gold again, and I think he's rolling it down slow now, or rolling it down aggressively and finding all of his units. So at this point, I don't think it was salvageable. But again, you
Yeah.
are in the late game, so this is the point in the game where you're gonna get punished for any mistake that you made in the early game. Oh no! Oh,
What?
you sold
Yeah.
the Lux, man.
I wanted the any level 3, man.
I know, man. I probably would have sold a Kaisa, but
The Kaisa.
selling 9 gold worth is just man, it hurts your econ, man. The econ cried a little bit on that one, but it's okay.
No. I just wanted so bad.
Yeah, but we can't thirst over it. I think this is what when we did it together the previous round, I was like, don't thirst over it, and then Annie came like the next round after I said not to thirst. It was
Yeah.
hilarious. And this is the guy that has all of our units, and then we're just sad that Shaco has IE, doesn't have and I can't see his items. Quality just went down a little bit, but situation
Oh,
doesn't really change.
Shaco has
He has a bunch of
like
bows. I would give double bow to hit Shaco because that's RFC. Um, he's got a sword. You can do a lot of stuff honestly with what he's got. See, he rolled it down twice because now he's at 20 gold,
Mm-hmm.
and we haven't rolled it down ever. Um,
And at this point, forward, I missed so many champs.
see, so pause it real quick.
Yeah,
So we're behind, right?
yeah.
We're never gonna hit a 3 cost, right? Or are we?
I really wanted to.
Okay, you wanted it, right? But
uh,
see,
yeah,
huh?
I knew that I wouldn't, but I still kept hope. If he maybe dies because I'm higher uh health than him, then
Okay,
okay, he might die. Okay,
okay.
let's think
So
about it. He
that
might
that
die, so
uh-huh.
I'll keep this. Once he dies, I can get it.
So that mentality only works for people that are very low on health and are not strong. I think I've shown you games where I had 3 health and I won the game. So the people on top of me need to take into consideration how strong I am and how much health I have. Like those are the two factors whether you make that decision or not. Second, we don't want to play emotionally, right? There's the dream. The dream is to get our units and go get everything really shiny and going. But we're not playing for the dream. We're playing for what we have and what the situation looks at right now, right? And so
Yes, sir.
if the situation that we find ourselves in is
Kill the dreams.
no, we don't kill the dreams. We pivot. We get new dreams, right? If we can't get a first, we aim for top 4. So in this situation, we don't look. We're not in a comfortable position to get anything 3-star. If we can't do that, what is our next plan of action? We just give up and take like bottom 8.
I oh
Okay, so it's too late to pivot into another comp, right? So what we're going to do is instead of rolling, we're going to aggressively level to try to have more units than the other people and stop the bleeding. Take as little damage as possible, and then hopefully top 4 by getting good luck and fighting weak opponents. Does that
okay.
make sense?
Yeah.
So in this comp, normally you would be rolling, but because we're behind and because the situation is as dire as it is, now now the situation changes. So every time that you're rolling is going to be a mistake because of where we are right now.
Okay.
Okay, so you can press play here because I have a feeling they're going to keep on rolling because that's what we've generally done in most of our comps playing
Yeah.
it. But most of the time we're either not contested or we're ahead, and if we're ahead, we're the ones like telling other people how the game's going to get played. Like when I remember like playing protectors and somebody hitting a Jin Jiao 2 before like the PvE even started, and I was like, well, there goes protector. I can't play it. That's it. Simple as that.
Yeah, and at some point I just gave up on any sold like my whole board.
Oh no.
I sold everything here because I knew that I was gone.
See now the bleeding is starting to happen.
Yeah, and it hurts.
It hurt. I bet it hurts, man. I bet it hurts. And that guy just is keeping 2 of our rumbles.
Yeah, I took the Shaco here because Shaco, that Darkstar, that was weird. A Darkstar with a Darkstar thingy.
That's good.
Oh well. Yeah,
No, no. Okay. So why do we like Shaco? Wait, what? Actually, no. So pause it here.
yeah,
So there are 2 options in the situation. We like Shaco, but why do we like that Shaco?
because we will make a level 2 Shaco and we can put Darkstar trait on something else,
Okay.
which I did.
Okay.
And
So we want
Hotfix level to 7 put in the Lux.
the Dark Star, but we want the Dark Star because we're missing 1 Dark Star if we have Lux in.
Yeah,
We sold the Lux, so we don't have the Lux right now.
we don't. What? Pretty sure we do.
No, we told her,
Oh yeah, we don't. Lol.
right?
But
So the Dark Star doesn't
I,
do anything for
I,
us
I guess I bought Lux
later on,
at some point here.
and Zephyr would have been better, right? Because we're trying to stop the bleed, and Zephyr makes it so the fight always. Oh my God! Nobody picked up the most strongest item right now. Okay.
Yeah,
Um.
I know.
So the Zephyr would have helped making the fights easier for us, at least minimize the damage.
Yes.
So can you pause it real quick? I'm going to assume that you rolled here. Would you have done that now? Like
Um,
after us talking?
no.
Okay.
I would have leveled.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Put the docs on
So
count.
I would have given that to Rumble because I find
Oh.
Kha'Zix to be a worthless unit.
Yeah. So
Someone
I
leveled a
saw that.
9 and we're 6. This
So
is
I saw that level 9 and like, yeah, let's go 7. So next year I gone 7.
so you're making decisions based on other people, and you need to make it based on other people and your own power spikes. But yeah, it's good that you're paying attention to the map. Oh, that
Right.
gangplank slap. Ooh.
Yeah, the gang will just slap me.
The thing is, when that thing falls and it kills anything, it gives so much money. Man, that Rumble is trying his best right there. Wait,
Yeah.
that guy like man, that's like 120 health. Crazy. He's strong, strong.
Still went for roll. Oh yeah, I went level. Put in Lux. Now I have Darkstar
Okay.
and shield from 50 gold.
So he went Karma.
At this point,
Are you scouting? Okay.
I'm out
Ah!
again for him.
You see it and you get pissed?
Yeet.
Okay.
Uh,
Honestly, if you
Die
top 4
already.
with this, I'd be happy. Top 4ing with this is
I,
okay.
I
I'm
did.
good.
I did top 4. I know how did.
That's why,
Just
again, I
tanking
didn't mean to be
to
disrespectful,
beat
but
me.
gold is low elo. Like it's not iron,
Yeah, yeah,
but
I know.
people still make a lot of mistakes. So you can get away with making mistakes at this elo. But at higher elos, making mistakes makes it very challenging to climb. Because I put it in the TFT resources playlist on my YouTube. Bunny Muffins has a full breakdown on the different tiers and what he thinks separates them, and I agree with the vast majority of them. Man, we hit Echo with the 1%. With the 1%, boys.
Mhm.
We litty lit.
Yeah, I don't know how I hit that thing, but alright. But it didn't save me. It
Oh no!
kind of
Again, at this point, every single little mistake that you made previously is gonna come back to haunt you. But hey, high rolling is still high rolling. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, true. I can't remember what I put it on. I think I put it on Shaker because
Okay,
I'm
I would agree. Yeah.
desperate at this point.
Ah, again, we never want to be desperate, man. At the end of the day, it's a video game. I know I'm guilty of it. I'll get upset at too, but
Like, come on.
we just want to play to get better at the game. If you always have the mentality that you're trying to play to get better, um, I think you always just do good. You're trying to put it on Kaisa.
Yeah.
Kaisa, take
Why
it.
not?
Oh no, that mouse. Okay.
I was just uh trying anything at this point, and
Okay, so again,
and miss that rumble. I was like, oh
yeah,
shit.
you're letting the desperation take control at this point.
Yeah, I want to buy the Lux. I guess I sold something.
I hope the
So
Kazakhs, yeah.
yeah, I lost this.
You
What would
minimize
I?
damage though. Even if you lost, which it looks like you didn't, you minimize damage.
Mm,
And you're okay, at this point we're not aiming first, we're aiming for top 4. Every round that you minimize the damage, you are ahead. Or
mm-hmm.
you're heading towards your game plan. Honestly, I would just power level the 8, hope to hit misfortune, and go with that. So do we pick up the title? That's the question.
Yes.
Oh no no no!
Yeah, at that point I knew I'm gonna lose.
So
I had no hope anymore.
we can do the you can well we can do it or you can check out the numbers, but I believe two people can 3-star a 2 cost. So you still had a chance of 3-starring Annie. It's more challenging, but it's definitely still possible. So that Jin, you see those items on Jin, they're terrifying.
Yeah, that's a strong gem.
Yeah, I think this comp is supposed to counter that comp if they're both like properly itemized.
3, 4.
So I'm assuming you're gonna roll here. Oh no, and then all of the units that you sold come back to haunt you.
Yeah, but I think that Annie is not is the one that I sold. I guess I don't think that's a new Annie.
Possible. You don't know, man. That's why they're haunting you.
Ah, yeah,
That's fine though. That's fine.
you're completely right.
Oh my goodness, you're looking at that surrender button. Never surrender.
I,
So I'm not
think
sure
I
if
should
you
lose some stuff at this point.
so
Like,
do you know
if
how damage works? Because like if you run to the left corner, your little legend might be able to take less damage for like a second or two, and that can sometimes get you top 4.
lol. I'm
So
already top 4.
so whenever you're about to die, try to move like to the bottom left. Like move your little legend with like right clicking.
So we're here.
Yeah, like try to go as far. Yeah, right, because his little legend is all the way in the right corner. So if we go to the opposite side, that last shot is gonna do a lot of damage. We can see like that last damage. If anybody was if that guy took one more second to die, you could have gotten 5th instead of a 4th. So that's pretty. No, it's 18, right?
What?
No, I was just curious about the LP amount. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think this was good. I think we can do a before and after. So we did this one, and then we'll do like a part 2. You piloting the comp again, and then we can talk about what's going on and where you're improving and where you still need to work a little bit.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So it's good to know now these items that I have to look for. So go for those items, not for other items.
Yeah, and we're probably and if we do like a series and look up at different comps, or if you ever want to learn other comps that I'm trying to coach you, um, I'm probably gonna have the same mentality because this is what I consider the fundamentals. You can learn the meta, what's strong right now, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna be looking at the same thing: the units, the percentages, the items, the scouting, and the economy. I think it just applies to every comp, and if you can do that consistently, that's how you climb in this game.